We're doing another interview with Claudio Lugli, and on this one, his wife Renata joins us as well, and they're going to discuss in more detail the book that they wrote about David Miscavige, the unauthorized biography. The book is called David Miscavige, Scientology Leader in the Shadow. And on this video, we're going to go into depth about Shelly Miscavige. Renata was her personal stylist. Claudio was David Miscavige's personal stylist for many years. And we're going to go into details about how that all came about. How did they meet Miscavige and his wife, Shelly? And also we discuss what happened to Shelly Miscavige. I think you're going to find this video entertaining and also informative. Here's Claudio, and we're going to be joined mid-video by his wife, Renata Lugli. Hello, everybody. Welcome back to our channel, Scientology Peeling the Onion. And I'm here with my co-host, Janice Gillum-Grady. Good day, Janice. How's it going today?
Good day, Mark. Good day, everyone. It's going good. Beautiful weather here. It's cooled off a little bit.
Yeah.
But I think we're still in the 90s. But anyway, things are great. Things are great. And we have a guest that you had on while I was gone.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah.
I'm just going to tell you, everybody, we had Claudio Lugli and his wife, Renata. They wrote this book, David Miscavige, the Scientology Leader in the Shadow. And we interviewed Claudio, or I interviewed Claudio a couple of weeks ago, and it was very well received, lots of views, and he sold lots of books. But we were having him back to talk more in depth on this video regarding Shelly Miscavige and David Miscavige, because they became the personal clothing stylists for both David Miscavige and Shelly Miscavige. And we're going to get the story behind all of that. And I think you all are going to enjoy that. So anyway, without further ado, let me bring on Claudio Lugli. Hello, Claudio.
Hi, Claudio.
Hi, Jenny.
Welcome.
Thank you. I'm happy to be here.
Yeah, everybody liked your video. I mean, we got a lot of views on it. And then, of course, I sent it to you in Italian. I should mention to our viewers right now that this video you're also going to see with Italian subtitles underneath, because Claudio's Italian and you have a whole huge following of people in Italy, right, that don't speak English. So they'll be able to watch this and enjoy the video, right?
That's a great idea. So, I mean, not everybody just speaks English yet.
That's right. Anyway, so what we wanted to do is go over, Claudio, you were, of course, we already know you were in the Scientology for many years, and you went all the way up to OT8. And I think did Renata as well go all the way to OT8?
Yes.
Yeah. And then you left Scientology in 2012. Is that about right?
We left in officially 2011.
That's right, in 2011. And we talked about that in the last video in terms of you found out the truth of what was going on with Miscavige, and of course, the crimes and, the abuses that were going on, and you and your wife basically had enough. And you came out on Marty Rathbun's blog, I think, at the time. Is that right?
Yes.
Yeah.
My phone and Marty Rathbun, and then we public on his blog.
That's right. And then what happened was, your son, Flavio, who works in the Flag Service Org in Clearwater, he was made to disconnect from you all. And of course, that's been a source of great pain for both you and your wife. I know that. And so you decided to write this book as part of, briefly tell the story again about the website.
One day, my provider sends me something like, okay, you can get a site for free. I was not interested, but I just, out of interest, I just wrote, okay, let's check it out, davidmiscavige.it. And magically it came up free. So I just pushed the button, buy. So I bought davidmiscavige.it with no intention whatsoever. There was no idea, but then I thought, okay, maybe I can use that to get in contact with Miscavige without, much, filters. And so I wrote him that I got his site, that was a mistake by his Office of Special Affairs, which of course they tried to get any site inside. But then I told him, okay, I don't need your site, I don't need your name, you see. This was a mistake, I understand, but I'm very, eager to give it back to you if you give back my son to me. And I made it like, okay, a gentleman deal, I give you your side, you give me my son. I knew that it wouldn't happen, it was like provoking him, of course. And so he said, okay, this is Flavio. And I said, okay, this is what we need. And then after a couple of days, one company contacted me, wanted the site. I said, no, I'm not interested. I just want the site to be given to the name it's on the site. And there I wrote to him, listen, I wanted to write a biography on you, unauthorized, of course. And I want people to know who you are. And so I will start posting chapters of the biography in this site. And every day or so, I will post a chapter. And I started, and I was waiting for someone to say, okay, fine, stop. Kicking the ass to Flavio, Flavio said, basta. Arrivederci. But it didn't happen, so I reached chapter 35, getting all the documents, of course, it's things that people, some of that already know, but it's put in a package, it's put in a sequence so that you can see who the guy is for real. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Nothing happened, so the biography was finished, and I said, okay, I will put it in a book if you don't. So I erased all the chapters from the site, and we printed the book, and the book is out. The book is selling. The unauthorized biography of David Miscavige, long due before. Yeah. Now it's available, ladies and gentlemen. And so
it's now available on Amazon.com. It's in English, Italian.
We just
French.
Finished in German, but I have to review it a little bit. But it will be available also in German very soon.
Yeah, and it's also available in Kindle version, right? Digital, yes. Paperback, and not audio though, right?
Yeah, no audio. No.
Yeah. Anyway, you can order your copy there, and it's a great book. We've been reading it. Janice has it too.
Yeah, I have a copy, and I'm reading it.
Good. What do you think?
It's very, very, very easy to read. Very easy.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And the great thing is it has all the footnotes, so you basically document everything you say.
Yes. It's very interesting to look back and forth on your notes.
Yeah. Because you have to be careful, because it's like David and Goliath, So David is me, it's not him, but
yeah,
they can try, and I hope they would anyhow, but they can try the legal way, to disturb our promotion of it. If they do it, they can bring me to court. We will have a discussion on court in Italy, not in the US. And maybe he will have to depose in Italy.
Right.
That's right. So how you obviously been in Scientology for many years, and you cover that in the book as well. But how is it that you and your wife Renata became the personal stylists for David Miscavige and Shelly? I'm going to show a couple pictures here. This is David Miscavige in, I guess, some shirt and pants that you designed.
Yeah, that's a shirt I did for him. It's a one piece only. That also.
Yeah.
And the pants.
Yeah. And then this is just an example of something that I guess Renata did for Shelly.
Yes, Renata was designing for Shelly, and I was designing for her.
I just want to comment. You put Shelly into her element. Mm-hmm. As a young child, she'd be late for work. She was busy trying to do her makeup or style her shirt or her clothes or whatever. So what you did with her on, designing clothes for her is something that she'd probably been dreaming of since she was a young girl first on the ship. You fulfilled that dream of hers.
I believe that she wrote it in her letters to Renata. You see, in one letter she writes to Renata that she was impressed. We did a fashion show in the Opera Theater in Brescia, and we filmed the show and we sent the show. And she was impressed because Renata's style was very from the 40s. You see,
Yes.
big shoulder, thin waist, longuette skirt. So it was really a style Renata had with the 40s and the 50s, And she was using, it was very different because she was using fabrics from male suits. So very
from men's suits? From men's suits? Yeah.
Men's suits. So they were very high-end fabrics, usually not used for women. You see what I mean? Usually women are more, soft, and that was very, built as a jacket, and she loved it.
Yeah.
So that was something that she really liked.
Yeah, I think I have that video. I'm going to show an example of the video, and it shows the female. Here, let me rewind here a little bit here.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
This is it here. Yeah.
Longuette skirt.
You're right. It's much more classic style, and of course, this is 1990 or 89, 90, right?
Yes, but you see, you could wear those now.
They're timeless.
It's a never-ending fashion. It's amazing.
Yeah, it's timeless. You can wear it any time. Yeah.
Because it's very feminine. It's not, something that makes the woman more of a woman. You see what I mean?
Yeah. And what's amazing is in Renata's book, her other book that she wrote, she tells the whole story of how you all left the Sea Org. You had to leave the Sea Org because you had family to take care of and this and that. And she started a knitting shop, right? She just was knitting in a little shop, and then it evolved into this huge design business, right?
She started the crime, actually, because I must say, I was not a designer. I never designed suits or whatever. I played music, okay? So I like to play guitar. So I'm more a musician. I mean, I was. She was a fashion model before the Sea Org.
Oh, yeah.
She knew the fashion industry, and she had a feeling for that. Plus, she had this ability that was, she learned from her grandma, her mother. She could hand knit sweaters, which were amazing. See what I mean? It took maybe a couple of days or maybe even more to do one piece. But maybe a week even. And so she had to, we got a very tiny store, like was maybe 3 by 3 meters, which is 30 by 30 feet. And she was there knitting, and then when the weather was done, she was putting it in the small window, and then sometimes she was also closing the little store because I have to go get my kids, be back soon. or going for a grocery or whatever. But she started it. And what happened was that my ex-senior, I don't know if you ever known him, Dan Loof, he was from Sweden. And he was my
I don't remember him.
Okay. He was together with Ken McFarlane.
I was going to say Ken McFarlane. I was going to ask
you.
I
remember. Yeah.
And Fred Harris. You probably dealt with Fred Harris too, right?
Exactly. Yeah. So this was the gang we were, and Ken McFarlane, he was not being an FSC in a regular way because he was not staying in Copenhagen like the FSC were supposed to be. He was staying in Horgen, in Eggersweiler Villa on the lake, on the oh,
and FSC, for our viewers, FSC is Flag Service Consultant. Basically, they were registrars, people selling services for the Flag Land Base in Clearwater. And they had them all over, and each continent, and Europe was a big money continent. And Ken McFarland, that's what he was known for. He traveled around and he brought in a lot of money.
Yeah, he was South African.
South African, yes, and he got a lot of money. I can tell you, himself. That's another story.
Yeah.
Regarding that, Dan Loof left the SEER when I left the SEER, because in 1982. Everybody had to leave because we were FSC in Italy, and they told us, okay, you have 24 hours to come to Copenhagen or you will be declared. That was the message. And we said, okay, thank you. We thought was the usual situation, and LRH would come back, make things go right, etc. Never happened. So that's why we started. I was teaching guitar to some students, and Renata started this and knitting. Then Dan Loof came to Italy just to visit, and he says, oh, maybe we can do something with Sweden. And so he said, okay, we can do it. He was we can do a franchise, I have some people in mind, so we can do this and that and blah, blah, blah. I said, okay, that's fine. Maybe that's a good idea. We couldn't do it only with weather. You see what I mean? So we started out, I didn't know, I'm telling you, I didn't know anything, even what cotton was, but we had to do the franchises. So I started to get, to understand this business. So I got the first jacket, and I got, from a jacket I had, and I get the pattern maker, which is the girl that makes the pattern where then you cut the fabric. I got a pattern made, and I went to buy the very first fabric I ever bought in my life, which was cotton canvas, wool jackets. I go there and say, okay, this, blah, blah, okay, that's fine. It's 5 million lira, like $5,000. And I buy this, was 300 or 400 yards of meters of fabric to cut this jacket to send to Sweden to start with the franchise. So I buy the fabric, I give it to the cutter and manufacturer. He calls me after half an hour and says, listen, this fabric is full of holes. You will waste at least 3 times, what is needed for a jacket. I didn't know what to do. I said, okay, fine. Anyhow, the jacket came out. Then we did some other thing. Then Renata started also designing some women dresses to send up. So that's how we started. Which was...
It's amazing. It's amazing. And then here's an example. This is I guess the same show or whatever. These are your men's designs in 89 or 90 or whatever, right?
Yeah, this was 8 years after the
after the fabric with the holes in it, right? That's what I'm saying. It's an amazing story. I mean, I'm going to put up Renata's book here in a second because people can order that on Amazon as well. But I was fascinated by that, by the way you all started, with basically nothing. And she had this little shop doing knitting, and next thing you know, you've got this, a huge design company and designing clothes for people.
Yes, but you see, the other thing was that we didn't know. Actually, what do you do? What do you do? 1 shirt, 3 shirts, 10 pants. What do you do? So there was another guy, because all ex-assos in Italy, we were together, like 3-4 guys from, the CLO Italy. We were together to do this business. And one of these guys was married with a designer in Milano, so a very high-end designer. So I say to people, and I say, listen, why don't we go there and we get some, some hints, some suggestion what we have to do. I don't know what to do. So we go to meet her. He said, yes, you should do green, brown. Next season is all green and brown.
Yeah.
So you should concentrate on it. Okay, so we didn't know anything. So I contact some people that sell fabric, not the guy with the holes, some other people, and I buy fabrics, almost all gray and green. Okay. And the mentality back then was, in the thousands of pieces. So like 1,000 pants, 1,000, I mean, a lot, I'm saying, not three. So I produce with this green fabric and brown fabric, pants, jackets. And then I had gathered some salespeople to go around and sell to store. This guy came back and said, listen, but don't you have any black, any gray? People don't want any brown or green. But I made debts to do that for like $100,000 of 1982 to produce. I didn't know what to do. So I'm there with like 5,000 pieces of garment and pants and this and that. What do we do? I tell you how we solved it. My father was selling in the market. He was selling like pots and pans. I said, listen, give me your truck and your license. I need to go sell my pants. He was very old and said, okay, fine, go. So I take the truck, we put it, and it was like December, January. We had snow, but we sold them all.
Wow.
Piece by piece, every day, 5 o'clock in the morning. So we were able to pay, all the suppliers and build our credit. Then this was the revolving situation. One day, one guy tells me, why don't you go to Bologna? There is this center, it's a very big fashion center. I didn't know what it was. I take my car and I go there with my pants, some of the green and brown pants. One store, huge place. It was like warehouses, like, I don't know, 500 warehouses, men, women, everything. I stop in one, no, I'm not interested. Two, I'm not, no, go there, maybe he's interested. I go there, the guy looks at me and says, no, how much is it? I say, I don't know, $20. Okay, fine, I'm interested. And he says, you can write the order. So size 38, 50. I write 40, 100. I write, this guy ordered me like, I don't know, $20,000 in 5 minutes. So I go back in my car. I put my pants in. And the day after, I'm in Bologna delivering it. To make a long story short, after 1 year, no, maybe 1.5 years, I was selling to this guy $5 million.
Wow.
Amazing.
Because I started understanding how it was working. And I knew people wanted something, fashion. And I was interpreting men, and Renata was interpreting women with a very special vision. And this built up a huge bump in sales, which I couldn't handle anymore. It was too much just to produce and deliver. We had to do it like everybody else does it, which is you do the collection, you take the orders, you produce. Because before we were just producing, selling, on risk. And so we went, and we started the collections. So we said, okay, basta, we don't produce and deliver. If you want my stuff, you have to order. So people, they were selling my stuff, so they started ordering. And then you see that the thing went boom, boom, boom. And in the meantime, to go back to Miscavige, how we started, and in the middle of this expansion was, I think, 87, maybe 87. They closed down all the orgs in Italy. There was a raid by a judge, and every org, narconon, you name it, was seized, closed, boom. So Peter Schless, Gilmore around Korea, and then a couple of other guys, musicians, came to Italy to do a concert to raise money to help Scientology. I think the IS was already in place, but it's still no money.
Yeah.
So she comes there. I get in communication with her. Okay, I find her a place to play, some other musicians. So we made a concert for charity for Scientology and Scientology. And they raise money, etc. Then she tells me, Chick is looking for a designer. And I say, fine. I mean, if he likes
Korea, right?
Chick Korea. If you will like what I do, I'm more than happy to give him things. You know? That this is at the end. There was like 87, 80. So after 3 or 4 months, Chicks comes to play in Milan. And Gail or whatever, they tell me, okay, Chicks would like to meet you, you know, and you know. So we get to meet. He likes my things. Actually, he likes them a lot. So he gets a bunch of jackets and pants and shirts and whatever, you know. Especially some very nice shirts. Yeah, this is in Madrid. Yeah. Also, Peter Slash had some shirts of mine. So now I don't remember if it was because of Peter or because of Chicoria, maybe both. But DM saw the shirts.
Miscavige, yeah.
So, those shirts are nice. Blah, blah, blah. So my name came up. So then I get this telefax. I don't know if the viewer, the young
Fax
viewer,
machine, a facsimile.
I get a facsimile from CMO, something, whatever. And they say, a very important executive or ours wants to, you know, meet with you. And I was already OTA, so I really did the ship. So in the maiden voice, I think it was maiden voice was coming up, and he would like to meet with you, and you should bring some catalog of yours and whatever. So I bring Vogue, we had, you know, Vogue and this and that. So I bring on the ship my catalog and that video of that fashion show, which a very long video. It's like 90 fashion models and, you know, kids, everything. It's 1 hour more long. But everybody looks at it, like Ray Nitos and Guillaume and Norman Stark. Everybody looks at the video. I knew that after that. And they get crazy about it. Wow. So I meet with DM. I didn't even know who he was. You see what I mean? You didn't know.
You meet him on the ship? You meet him on the Freewinds?
On the Freewinds. But
was that on the original maiden voyage or the follow-up?
The follow-up. Because I didn't go on the first. I went a bit after the first maiden voyage, then I went to the second maiden voyage.
Okay. So
on that, he goes crazy, and in fact, he comes in my cabin, and you know, he tries my show. Fine, this is nice. I give him some of my shirts, you know, because he likes them. Oh, okay, fine. And then the design story becomes, you know, but he was very strict on the formal suits he was wearing because he had a guy from Beverly Hills making them.
Yeah, Mr. Kim, the Korean tailor. Yeah, I was just going to fill in. Just let me just interject one thing here. Miscavige, all the time that I knew him, he loved clothes. You know what I mean? His passions were guns, clothes, and high-end stereo. And the clothes, I mean, like literally, he had Tony Lama and Dan Post cowboy boots, and he had at least 20, 30 pairs, and snakeskin, alligator, ostrich, you name it. I mean, that was the thing. And so we all kind of got into cowboy boots for a while, and he liked it. But anyway, then he started getting his stuff tailor-made by this tailor in Beverly Hills named Mr. Kim that all the celebrities used and all that. And they designed his uniforms. Like when we got Sea Org uniforms, the original ones, Mr. Kim did his tailor-made ones for GM and Mark Yeager and all the different senior executives that did the events. So I just wanted to interject that. So
in 77, before he got into all the clothes,
yeah.
we used to go shopping at the Palm Springs swap meet and buy our jeans and our clothes.
But since my memory is not so good because, I'm getting old, I would like to have a guest come in because she wants to correct me.
Oh, so of course.
I will get Renata.
I was going to show this is Janice. This is from that time period that you're talking about in Palm Springs, right? That's DM, and that's how he and Shelly dressed back in the day.
That's right. Just T-shirts and
just
jeans
like regular
from the swap meet.
Very different. Yeah. So Renata
Hello, Renata. Hello.
Yeah, ciao.
Hello.
Ciao.
No, I remember when you went on the free winds. I stay in Italy, and you called me from Caribbean to say what's happening, and you was in the OT committee, president of the committee. So.
Oh yes.
And Guillaume Lesèvre come to you in the Paloma Blanca, and he say, I remember you told me all this now, and you say, oh Guillaume, I would like to know what they needed, they wanted from you to me to, as a committee, I want expanded and something like that. Okay. And that's it. He go out, Guillaume Lesèvre. And after Claudio called me and say, he don't say nothing to me. I don't receive nothing. I don't know why. But after an hour, somebody called him. Guillaume Lesèvre want to meet you in the Paloma.
No, in the Starlight Cabaret.
Starlight Cabaret.
Alone.
Okay. And so now you tell what you tell to me in that time. Sorry, my English is terrible.
That's okay. No, you're good.
This is related to the fashion and DM and whatever. Mm-hmm. Because Guillaume sits me down. I knew Guillaume from the FSC time, so. Right. When he was CEO Europe, I met him in Copenhagen and so on. So we knew each other. And he said to me, Claudio, listen, this is what international management wants from you. It's Tom 40, You have to become #1 designer in the world. Bigger than Armani, bigger than Valentino. You have to drive Ferrari, get a private jet, become a millionaire, billionaire. And I look at him. See, I wasn't expecting him to tell me what to do, with the orgs, the mission.
Yeah. Well, spiritual, thing. All money, something like that.
There was no spirituality, actually, but I understood, It was like, okay, if I become that, then I can promote. I'm a Scientologist. And I can influence from, what do you expect from a Scientologist, to be #1, etc. But I tell you something that was very special. And I understood much later when I became, aware of what was happening behind the scene. Because, I was in the SEAL. When you are in the SEAL, you are in the SEAL. You pledge 1 billion a year. You wanted to clear the planet. That's your goal. What's bigger goal than clearing the planet? Making a pair of pants? Designing a shirt? No.
Right.
You see? So the only thing that could parallel being a SEAL member is having a goal that can forward toward that same very goal. And this was given to me because they said, this is what you need to do now. And he said, forget about the seer. I know you've been in the seer. That's over. But you know why I said that? Because in my auditing, that was an item that was coming up. You see what I mean? This, fuck, I'm not in the seer. Am I doing the right thing? You see what I mean? I'm out doing pants. I'm out doing shirts. Am I really helping cleaning the planet?
Right.
And he knew that because my folders were scrutinized. And
your counseling auditing sessions, right? Yeah.
Exactly. They looked into my auditing session and somebody gave my item to DM to use to make, a leverage on me.
Yeah.
Because if he wouldn't have said that, he wouldn't have matched what my real goal was, which was helping people. You see what I mean?
Right. Mm-hmm.
But by saying that, he knew I had this item going on. I want to help people. And whereas you remember, he wanted to.
1 miliardo di anni.
So this shows you how shallow can be, the handling of someone. I'm not saying I was a celebrity, Yes, we were becoming famous, a Vogue and this and that, and newspaper. But, if this was used on me, what was used on others? You see what I mean?
Yeah, you actually go into that in this chapter in the book because it was a key thing, that people like Tom DeVocht and people mentioned that Miscavige would sit around drinking scotch and smoking cigars in his Oster lounge at 2 a.m. and start reading all these celebrity reports from their auditing counseling sessions and making fun of them, right?
Exactly. Scott McCallum, Sex and Videotape. That's it.
Yeah. And it's funny too, because I read that and I went, he was doing that before when I was there too. I mean, at the time, when Religious Technology Center would pull up the auditing processing folders of celebrities and they would go through them and to see if there's any errors and stuff, because it's very important from their point of view to keep celebrities, on the bridge and moving, right? But Miscavige somehow would find out different secrets about different celebrities, and then he would gossip about them just offhand to people, in his office and stuff. I remember hearing it 2 or 3 times. I'm not going to say exactly what it was, but it was something he read in somebody's file,
And just to note on that is totally against all technology and policy to do that. One's supposed, the folder's supposed to, the auditor takes the session, it goes to the CS, and that's it. It's not supposed to be discussed anywhere else.
Right.
And even executive case supervising was not supposed to happen either. But people got into executives telling CSs what to do with their PCs. But yeah, that was totally wrong. Never should have happened.
It shouldn't happen, but you see, I saw it in an all different way. I saw it like, wow, those guys are real OTs.
They know what's going on.
They can perceive what I feel. You see what I mean? To use French words, because this is illegal. Is panic and secrets that you say to your auditor. You think you are safe.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm sure you used it on all the celebrities. Kirstie Alley, Chick Corea, which we knew very, very well. For example, I didn't put it in the book, but you see, the story of Chick Corea and the Mad Hatter Studio.
Oh, yeah.
So Chick was strangled by that deal.
Financially.
Renata met with Chick, and I was there in Verona before that happened, and before we were out, but we knew what was going on, but we were under the radar. So we met with Chick in a concert he did in Verona, and he said this to Renata, if you want to say what he told you at the time.
Because I know, I perceive OSA put some guy to look at me and Claudio. Claudio, because Claudio talk English very well. They know I can talk English, so I'm more free than Claudio. Claudio was with the engineer.
With the sound engineer.
Yes. And Chick was with me in davanti.
In the front.
In the front. And we talked together. And Chick told me, just, Renata, you read the basics new book. And I say, yes, sometime. No. And he started to say to me, I don't read the book. I don't have time. And there is the senior CS US who call me every single day to ask me, Chick, have you read the book? And I say, no, because I'm so easy. I travel and I have no time. But Chick, one page is better than nothing. So Chick looked at me and said, oh my God, you know, he talking to me like I'm a baby. I don't know. This was so upset.
Then about the clear,
And I perceive he want to keep out the charge, say something. And I need to redo exactly this. I need to redo that. I need to redo this. But I was clear in the 60s.
1960s, yeah.
Yeah.
And so it was totally, and my English was so well, but I know in that time the truth ran down.
Yeah.
We have read
already. But I don't want to talk because he needed to do concert.
Yeah.
I don't want because when I read that, I was, oh my God, I'm so crazy. I feel to vomit and something like that. So I don't want
You're talking about the St. Petersburg Times newspaper series, The Truth Rundown, that came out.
Yeah.
We read it. She didn't want to upset Chick because he was going to play.
Yeah. So I don't say nothing. But now, if I, se tornassi indietro forse gliel'avrei detto.
If she would come back now, she would tell him, even if he had to go to a concert. But I'm saying
and I remember at the end of the concert, Chick wanted to stay alone with us, with me and Claudio. And the little guy said to him, I come with you, Chick. No, I don't need. And the guy said, oh, I need your, to put your bag, your water. She push. Because I perceive somebody,
He was the OSA handler.
No,
yeah, it's a Scientology minder, right? Scientology OSA minder or somebody, right? Yeah.
Like non leave Chick alone with Claudio and Renata.
Right. And you see, I was telling about that because we met several times with Chick at Flag. He was living there in Clearwater. So we met at the Sandcastle several times. We were, having dinner together and so on. And then one night he tells me, I sold the Mad Hatter to gold.
Mad Hatter Studio.
Yeah. Mad Hatter Studio. They were so kind, to buy the studio and blah, 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 blah. I said, oh, wow, fun. You were happy. Yeah, I wanted to sell it, blah, etc. I didn't know what actually was going on. I came to know it afterwards, also because I spoke with Ron Moss anyhow, even if it was under the super radar, SP declared, but nobody knew about it. Anyhow, DM gave to Chick Corea double the price, I think $1 or $2 million. I mean, an outrageous amount of money. Why? Because Chick Corea was in very deep shit with credit card debts and so on.
Mm-hmm.
So he couldn't afford to have a celebrity like him be thrown under the bus by bankruptcy or whatever.
Yeah.
So this put Chick in a condition, in a situation he couldn't say "fuck you," I understood, So he was a good boy till the end,
Yeah, it's kind of like I hate to use the term mafia, but it's a similar type thing. You borrow money from somebody, and then now they got hold of you. You can't leave. You can't say anything against them because you owe them money.
Yeah, we made him an offer he couldn't refuse.
That's right.
But you see,
That's right.
There is one in the communication Renata had with Shelly. In this, they had several letters that she wrote to her. When we had a very bad situation, which I don't want to get into, but we had a bankruptcy with a big company,
Mm-hmm.
and we tried to survive, etc. And Renata was in communication with Shelly, and she didn't tell anything to
With Shelly.
with Shelly Miscavige.
Yeah, Shelly Miscavige. Yeah.
Basically, we don't want to tell Enteta. We went bankrupt, no? And we decide this. He don't wrote nothing to COB. I don't wrote nothing to Shelly. After 6 months, I wrote to Shelly just because I needed to, to give. 6 months exactly. What's happening? So she immediately, I don't know, for a couple of days, she bring me back a letter, very, very cute, very gently, and impressed to me one sentence. A cosa servono perché non me lo hai detto subito?
She said, why didn't you inform us immediately?
Perché a cosa servono gli amici se non nel momento del bisogno?
What's the use of friendship if you don't use friends when you need them?
That's what Shelly said to you.
Yeah. It's in the letter. I sent you the letter.
Yeah.
One of the letters.
But many, many years later, I understand what exactly she needed to explain to me. And the concept, because the letter was very, quasi un'accusa. She was accused me, why you don't, and many years later, I understand what I mean, the sense, the purpose of this sentence. I meet when we went in bankrupt, we received in our office the OSA Brescia was in charge. What he said to us, Claudio, I needed to know something dangerous for the church.
Is there any danger that the church can be put into because of this that is happening?
Oh, is there anything that can come back on the church? Right.
Yeah, because already he knows we went in bankrupt. Yeah. But he don't say, "Oh, Claudio, I'm sorry. What's happening?"
No, it's like, no, it's why the church is more important.
Yeah. But 2 or 3 years later, we went in cos'era? Wader, Osa, un ragazzo di Osa guys
was getting married.
Yeah, and we was together in the restaurant to enjoy this event. Mm-hmm. One guy in Osa, Italy, come to me and say, Renata, I'm very sorry, mi dispiace di non avervi aiutato.
I'm very sorry that we were not able to help you in that situation.
E non ti abbiamo protetto.
And we didn't protect you. And you have to understand, we were still under the wing of the end. So we were.
And immediately he said to me, Now we know what's happening.
We knew what happened, why you went, what was the reason.
Yeah.
Which is a technical reason, because there was a financial, they managed to make our bank credit go
Down.
in informing the credit company that we were bad, which was not true. And then the guy said, we know who caused that, who was responsible for that.
Basically sabotage, really sabotage in one day. What's amazing.
It's a bit technical, but that was happened. And he said, who was behind that sabotage? The order was given by a cardinal of the Brescia
environment, La Curia.
Curia, I don't know you say. You see the bishop and the cardinal.
Oh, like the Catholic Church, like the diocese or whatever. Yeah.
In Brescia went after you. And they ordered one bank to put in false information to destroy you. They knew you couldn't handle it.
So io ho capito allora cosa c'era dietro questo, no? Posso dirlo? Sì. And I only in that moment I understood what's happening. Basically, the COB, when they receive our letter, invite immediately one guy at Brescia, in Brescia, to understand what's happening. Maybe there is a chance to save the situation. È corretto? Sorry. And basically was too late.
For our luck.
Yeah.
Was too late, because everything was, come si dice, mechanic, administration stuff, something like that. And maybe I'm happy, what's happening, because maybe we can, saremo entrati in una gabbia dorata come Chick Corea.
Yeah, because if not like Chick Corea, we would have been in a golden cage.
Yes.
Because
like, in other words, they didn't protect you like they protected Chick, right?
Exactly.
They did not protect you. Yeah.
But see, they could have done it. They say, okay, how much is needed? 2 million. Okay, 2 million. But here is the 2 million.
Yeah.
You see, and we were, saved. And then.
Because basically we do everything to understand what's happening. The guy who give this kind of, I don't know, sabotage anyway. But the only the COB have the able to understand, pay, to know who is the guy. You see what I mean?
Yeah, the power to, get private investigator, get information, use all the OSA facilities, to get to the root of it, which was correct. Then we had confirmation about it by other sources.
Let me ask you a question. You did all these beautiful designs and clothes and stuff for David Miscavige and Shelly, and then you ended up doing, like I saw Larice, you did her clothes and this and that. Did they pay you for the clothes, or was it just a contribution from you guys, or what did you have to do?
Most of the time, his personal or her personal thing or RTC uniform, they always pay. We were sending them gifts once in a while because,
Yeah, gifts.
We liked it, and they were in exchange anyhow. We thought it was fine. It was not a bribe or whatever. It was something.
Oh, no. I didn't mean that. I just didn't know if they expected stuff for free or something. That's all.
Absolutely.
No, they paid for it. Yeah.
We were giving them things for free sometime.
Yeah. The gifts. Yeah, I understand. Now, did you ever were you ever with David and Shelly in like social situations, like at dinners or, like where you're just hanging out and that type of thing? Or was it always like at the free wins where he was around other people or?
Yeah, mostly around other people, around other people. Even when I met him in 2006 to get his measurement, it was, with RTC staff so it was not uninformal. More Shelly, maybe with you.
Qual è la domanda?
Se abbiamo avuto incontri informali con Shelly o con Miscavige.
No, solamente. Ah, sì, ci incontravamo al festival.
I remember one thing that you tell. One time we were staying at Sisi when we had the store in Little Santa Monica. We opened the store in LA in Little Santa Monica. And we were living at Sisi. I remember one night we go there, we had dinner down in what's the name of the restaurant? I don't remember. The slowest restaurant in the world.
That's what I've heard.
You order pasta 3 days later. You get it. Anyhow, we were there eating, and then the whole RTC, I didn't know even then who the whole situation was. But Norman Starkey was there, DM was there, Mark Yeager, and Norman had been in the store in the afternoon.
Norman Starkey, yeah.
Yeah, Norman and his wife, and they bought things. So Norma comes, and we were there dining, and they were in the big table over the other side dining. And then Norma comes, I did shopping in Beverly Hills. So you see, I couldn't imagine what I found out and what I wrote in the book.
Well, that was going to be my next question, because Janice and I were around David Miscavige for years behind the scene, and it seems like he put on a certain front around the public people, but around the staff, he was like Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. I mean, he was terrible. I mean, you talked about the gossip and stuff, about the celebrities and all that sort of thing. Janice and I can confirm he had the most vile, dirty, filthy, sexual stuff to Sea Org member women in front of, the whole musters and things like that. You know what I mean? All the time. I mean, his mind worked like he was into the dirtiest, filthiest things he could think of. And he would say them like it was nothing wrong saying it in front of people, And so it's really funny. Like, obviously around you guys, I just was wondering if you ever let stuff like that slip out, because that's how he normally was when he was around the staff.
As you said, it's, like Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde, because for us, he was the greatest.
Yeah.
Yeah. Around us, he'd get vulgar.
Yeah. No, never vulgar. Never. I mean, he was playing the macho guy, because even on the freewheels, freewheels on maiden voyages, you were hanging out on deck with them, with him or with Guillaume and talking. And I remember one time we went to Paloma Blanca, and he went behind the bar, and he was serving, beers and whatever to the OTs around there. And he was making something, and I remember Shelly told him, Dave, what do you do? She was reprimanding on some situation with them. But you see, you could never imagine that man was, that evil person. But
well, and the other thing I was going to say, I mean, up until when I left in 1990, he didn't get auditing. He wouldn't go in session. Every once in a while he'd go in with Ray Midoff, but I don't think he ever got up onto OT7, onto solo knots or anything. Maybe he did later, but he didn't go into session because he didn't want people to know what was going on with him,
Well, I remember one time Ray had him in session, and I was walking by, and you could hear DM just ripping Ray apart. And Ray obviously in session, and Ray was the auditor taking this and not getting the PC back into the session and pulling the withhold. It was very evident.
Yeah, and you two are auditors. You know what I mean? Like, it says something about somebody if they won't go into session. Do you know what I mean? If they won't, you know what I mean? It says something, they're hiding or doing something. And of course, there's the stories, which I'm sure you know, and about, where when Hubbard was still alive, he ordered Pat Broker and David Miscavige to get sec checked, to get inquiry and that type of thing. And those things were all written up, and there were lots of things that they had done with Hubbard's money and stuff. And then those reports, of course, got sent through Pat Broker to go to Hubbard, and they never made it to him.
No, but I mean, you see, I wrote in the book, in the beginning of the book, in the introduction, that there are certain people that in Scientology we call them suppressive person.
Yeah.
Right.
Normal people call them narcissists. They're just bastards. They want control. They want power. They want to use people. You see, they don't even know what help means. You see, help for them is betrayal. And this is what he did. He was betraying the whole of Scientology community. This is the problem about Miscavige. I don't care if he did minor things, but whatever. Every manager makes mistake, but see, is the intention behind it. He has bad intention that are covered. That he covers his intention with public relation up to here. You see what I mean? Mm-hmm. He sends you flower. I mean, every Christmas they were sending a couple of CMO messengers to us, impression, bringing us, things like that, full of wheat and you name it, And
these are Christmas greeting cards to you guys, yeah.
Exactly. Every Christmas, and if he did that with us, he did that with anybody else. Kirstie Alley, Chick Corea. So everybody thought those guys are great. Also why? Because he made it so like, it's Scientology, but we are also a bit better. You see what I mean? Because we can be a bit wonky.
And also,
you understand my point of view? So we can give gifts and spend money.
Basically, I observed it. They put the red carpet on us.
Red carpet,
Nobody registered, for example, come with us, forget it. One time a guy already comes, I think, he come to me and just his senior come at it. Oh, I meet you, Renata, designer, blah, blah, blah. Go out. You see what I mean? So for this reason also, we don't see the truth, what's happening this guy. We don't recognize. Also,
well, and looking back, he was a climber. He wanted power, and he would play the game of being, yes, sir, this and that. I'm sure, Janice, with you senior messengers and all that. But then once he got control of, like, I'm in charge of taking over the Guardian's office, or I'm doing this, and the report's going to Hubbard. I don't need to listen to you anymore. I'm listening to Hubbard. And he had that communications line. He saw an opportunity to basically take over and to run with it.
Yeah. But the problem with him listening to Hubbard was all his exaggerations that he sent in the reports that Hubbard then used and responded to. And that's what cremated the whole mission network and got all those mission holders declared. It was all the false reports that because of exaggeration.
Yeah. And like you said in the book, Claudio, we talked about on the last video, I hadn't really thought about that Hubbard probably suffered from a form of dementia as well, because I just recently was around my mother who had it. She died at 95 in January. And like literally the last 6 months, she was a different person those last 6 months. She was very angry. And Hubbard was very angry, right, Janice? I mean, the dispatches that would come down would be very angry that came off out of left field. And that was a little eye-opening to me when you said that, because I could have more reality on it now,
Yes. I think, I don't think that Bill Franks is the source of this information. And I don't think he had any interest whatsoever to say something not true.
No, I knew Bill well, and he was not that type of person.
No. I met him also, and I think if Dr. Denk told that to him, I think it's true. And Ob knows it. I mean, the way Albert was behaving in the last years shows that it can be true. But I want to go back to Miscavige and tell you how subtle he can be with something that he did with Renata. This, I don't know, I don't think we ever wrote it anywhere. Anyhow, we go to Flag before going to LA to open the store. We go to a Flag because Renata wanted to solve a situation that was years, that was trying to solve. Basically, she was fucked up, I think, by a class 12 auditor, which was, one of the first class 12 made by Miscavige. Basically, Miriam Stave. I don't know if she was a class 12, she was speaking Italian. That's why they audited Renata on L12, I think, something like that. On a session of hers, I tell, so I'm more fluent than you. Quello che è successo.
Sì. Basically, I didn't receive any SEC check before. 283, there is no SEC check obligatory to go, So I received the SEC check from Miriam for the first time, maybe second time. The first was Sylvia Lawrence, yes, but it was okay. So I have money on the class 12. I decided to make OT prep with class 12. So I went with Miriam, and something is happening at the question. I remember it was David Mayer. I don't know what's exactly the question, but anyway, I say no, nothing. There is nothing there. There is nothing there. And she come with me, and
she goes on the table.
Almost on the meter, and say, come on. Tiralo fuori, dai, tiralo fuori.
Get it off.
Con rabbia.
Oh, come clean. Yeah, get it off. Accusing you.
Yeah, she was also angry. And basically, this is completely illegal. So she basically ruined.
And after she said, I can talk, I can respiro, I can move. I just perceive to stay in the ice block.
She was freezing.
Totally. And she looking at me, and she look at the meter and say, oh, there is a lot of charge there. Okay. Give a comment, list.
Correction list.
No, quando tu la break list.
L1C.
L1C, yeah. Correction list, yeah.
Ha letto misguito di niente, cioè che non false read. Oh, it's a false read.
Yeah.
I start to cry, and she say, okay, and that finish the session. I don't was an auditor in that time, so I can perceive you need to clean
clean the read. Yeah, you need to handle the read.
Yeah.
Yes, okay, this is false read, to FN. Otherwise, you say, okay, speaking like that, so who did that, so and something like that. It didn't. But what impressed to me when we was finished the session, and we was in the exam, I was totally destroyed.
BIs.
And the auditor was the lady. Why was old lady the same? Blonde hair, short hair, so cute with and she told me, your need is floating.
Oh man.
But
totally contrary to what was going on.
Oh yeah.
Alsi pregnito? No, it's not possible. I don't know what's happening. Maybe the class 12 can make something wrong. I don't know. But what I want to tell you, this session ruined my life for 18 years.
Wow.
I waited 10 years to handle.
Yeah.
Because I never know this was not okay. What Miriam said, because I never receive a lot of sex check, and I believe this is the style of sex check. This is what I believe. So for me, it was normal.
Yeah.
That Miriam was like that. This is what I mean. They needed to do the sex check. Maybe the COB, this new style, I don't know.
And yeah, going back to what happened, this is what the condition she was in. She was destroyed. Her case was completely fucked up. And she tried to handle it several times. Going back to flesh. She went, got suicidal, you know. Sort of,
I try everything to handle, because Loretta say the way out is the way through. You know, and try was worse, to the point I stay at Flag 1 year to try to handle.
Wow.
You know? To the point I feel so bad, cosa? Che mi volevo buttare giù.
Volevo raccontare di DM quello che ha fatto, che ti ha mandato Marchiega.
Vabbè, ma finisco il 5 e dopo lo dice. And to the point, I did, okay, I go in the 10th floor and I want to stop my feel because it was too much for me, too pain, no?
Yeah.
And I say, no, Renata, because if you die, when you take a new body, you can start again when you lost, you know.
Right.
You have to start from where you left.
Yeah, you have to confront it at some point.
Yes. You need to confront again. So
this was the situation, and I'm telling you, for her it was a nightmare, and for me it was another nightmare, because I was seeing her. She was always into this, she couldn't be happy anymore. See? So auditing reverse, when you do auditing the other way, can destroy you.
Yes.
That said, we are a flag for the end time to handle this situation with her. We are at the lobby, and DM comes out. He sees me, and Renata comes. Hi, Claudio, how are you? So we are, ciao, but why are you at Flag? And I say to him, we are here because Renata is a long-standing situation that is never solved. And the folder are in RTC to be viewed by Ray Mitov, but they're not coming back. We need to go to open the store in LA, but we have no solution. Okay, maybe we'll leave. I will handle that. Miscavige. 3 hours later, we are in the room in the Sandcastle. Knock, knock at the door. Renata opens the door. Mark Yeager is there. Saying, Renata, your folder are ready. Tomorrow, be ready for session. Now, what this makes you think? This makes you think, oh, this guy can make things go right. This guy really takes care of. You see,
he cares about you.
What the fuck? He has to take Mark Yeager, which is
Expediter.
He makes him to be a page that knocks at my door to tell me that tomorrow I have the session. Because this doesn't make good for Mark Yeager, but makes $1 million good for David Miscavige, that handled the situation finally that we tried to handle for years. And what happened? The next day, Renata goes for an interview because the folder magically came from RTC, and was the fact because I translated the interview, so I know what was the worst interview. Pointless, stupid, not to the point. And this was CS, from RTC upline, and the folder was there for But it's not that. Is Miscavige makes you in a position that you think he is there and he's making it,
Mm-hmm.
That's the point. You cannot believe whatever he did.
Yeah.
But there is always something there.
The savior. The savior. He was known to do that on the administrative lines, where he would send in orders that would mess things up and get people in trouble. And then when they go to him, he was the savior and helped those people.
Yeah.
But he's the one that caused it in the first place.
Exactly, because he was the one that let Miriam stay audit class 10 in that fashion.
And for many times I say, where is the tech?
Yeah.
Che fine ha fatto?
Yeah.
The wonderful tech they put me, I don't know, in the sky for wherever I did. And to the point, come back my auditor who went in the RPF. So finally she came back. She was wonderful. She put me a repair list, and she told me one thing, one read, they say, oh, the auditor was angry with you, correct? Was angry with you? No, nobody was angry with me. Okay, looking at that, Oh yeah, oh Miriam, oh yeah. Well, I handle, she told me, okay, do this is illegal. Oh my God. And after I handle all the shit, the consequence of this for one intensive. I come back in the sky finally after 18 years. I tell you, in these 18 years, my life was, Claudio, I didn't know first. I didn't know. I educated my son with ethics over dramatization. And Claudio, sometime, okay, tell me what is the over, Renata. The over was nothing. And she, okay, I absolve this psychiatrist. I start to smile, and this is what's handled my life with Claudio, but so this is the consequence of the shit of tech on me.
Yeah.
Well, and like you said in the book, and we talked about this on the last show, Claudio, I mean, the whole golden age of tech, Miscavige changed the definition of a floating needle and the end phenomenon and all that sort of stuff. It's just all completely screwed things up. People having to redo the objectives or redo the basic books, like you said about Chick Corea, or redo, get a 6-month check every 6 months when they're auditing on their solo knots. You know what I mean? It's just it's all about control and money. I mean, it really is. It's just crazy. And that wasn't like that when Hubbard was around.
No, I remember that whole 6-month check. That was purely a moneymaker. That's why they did it, to keep people coming back to flag.
Yeah, but that people of T8s, they were put back on Dianetics auditing.
Yeah, I heard that.
You were not clear. But I mean, it's so stupid. And what I knew Ray because I went on tour with Ray Meter. So
yeah,
he was a good guy.
Yeah.
No,
the bypass case was David Miscavige.
Oh yeah, right. But even Guillaume, you see, all these people I knew when I met Kerry Gleason. I mean, all these guys.
When you were in the Sea Org, I know, yeah.
Yeah, they were great guys. There was such a feeling of games and goals, it was very different.
Yes.
And the stats. I have a question.
Yeah.
Where are the statistics of Scientology?
Nowhere.
Good question.
So.
No, nowhere. Yeah, it's crazy. I mean, he really was. He's built up a real estate empire and all these donation money and all that. And he's sitting on a pile of cash. and nobody's going up the bridge, nobody's going clear, nothing's happening.
Well, we were talking with Kay Rowe, who had been a registrar for the IAS, the International Association of Scientologists, and she would be fighting to reg people to get their money that they wanted to put on the bridge. Oh. And they were taking it as donations, so people weren't moving and paying to go up the bridge because the IAS was fighting against the org registrars on who's going to get the money. Yeah. So it's like, what happened to Scientology as the importance?
Yeah. And I want to say something. What's happening on me? I receive the bridge, all the grades 283 as a flag service consultant. So,
in the field.
For example, I want to tell you how I did the all grades. He went with David Mayer in Los Angeles to interview, or Renata in England and I receive auditing, but I have 2 little kids, 2 years and 3 years. So the flag world tour, Gary Models, go the babysitter on my son. Why I go in session every single day with the Pierretier. So this was the Sea Org at flag in that time. You see what I mean?
You could go up the bridge.
You can go on the bridge.
That's what I did. I joined the Sea Org at 18. I was grade 4 in the org, and I went up all the way up to Solonats as a Sea Org member. And it wasn't until the last year and a half, 2 years, I was just getting constant sec checking, So it was possible to do it, but, it's like.
Yeah, but see, if you ask this question, where are the statistics of Scientology? I remember in the beginning events, still, DM was doing, the show, like students said, 3,500,000, whatever. But at least you had some student points, you see what I mean?
Yeah.
You had well done auditing hours. You see, this is the product that you can measure Scientology, not buildings, patron IIS money, square feet. Where is Scientology? This is not. What they are doing is not Scientology. They're not studying Scientology.
But I just wanted to wrap this up about Shelly. You cover in Shelly, Miscavige's big power move is making his wife disappear, but never divorcing her. You know what I mean? And everybody's like, "Where's Shelly? Where's Shelly? Where's Shelly?" And Janice, you know her very, very well. And Shelly was very much, in my experience with her, she never got a full education, right? But she was green on white. She believed in Hubbard's policy, and she was like almost robotic about it. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
so the fact that she apparently is in archives at Church of Spiritual Technology, helping to preserve L. Ron Hubbard's technology on titanium plates and stuff, that would seem to fit with something that she would want to do.
Yeah, and you know what? I think, well, she grew up in the Sea Org. She was never street smart. She wouldn't know how to operate in the real world, but she knows nothing else. But she's probably happy to be with friends that they're not really friends. They're reporting on her, but she thinks they're friends, but she's not near DM. So she's probably happy that she's not near him and doesn't have to deal with his BS every day.
Just like Mary Sue. Like they had Mary Sue with minders, in Las Feliz, California, until the day she died. Basically parked off to the side, and they probably leave Shelly alone. I know she, one of the principals was Antonella Tizzi, who was my auditor at the point. She's an Italian.
Antonella Tizzi.
Yeah,
we bought them in this year.
Yeah. But she was one of my auditors, back in the day. But her and Marty Rathbun's ex-wife, I forget, Ann Rathbun and whatever. But they're the 2 minders that have been seen with her whenever she's been spotted.
Oh, they are taking care of her. Oh, I see.
Yeah.
Well, no, but I don't think Shelly was a bad person. I think Shelly was very different. You can you see, there is a knowingness you have, you know, when you meet people, you perceive the goodness or, you know, if something is twisted. DM, I always perceived something was there, but then it's not possible because it was, you know, LRH gave him the throne. So
he didn't.
I know.
You took it, yeah.
But you think, you see what I mean?
Yeah.
So it makes it, you know, impossible, you know, and you cannot even think about it. That's the problem. You cannot think.
Right.
I mean, there were times I was on the ship and Mark Yeager was talking, you know, in this fucking endless event at night, you know, and I was listening to him and I was getting this, what the fuck is he talking about? You know? He's telling things, he looks stupid, you know, but I couldn't think that he was stupid because you cannot think that, you know, and
right, yeah,
stupid. But
yeah.
I mean, he was under the spell of Miscavige, of course, because maybe he's a great guy. You see what I mean? But you cannot even think in this cult.
But if was Mark Yeager speaking at an event? Because if he was, Miscavige approved every word that was said. The speeches were all written and had to be rewritten until Miscavige thought they were good. You know,
on Maiden Voyage every night there was a different whatever, you know,
different speaker.
Briefing.
And he was speaking about something I don't really remember, but I remember the feeling I had. What the fuck is he talking about? Like
anyone perceived as a threat to Miscavige, in his mind, they have to be gotten rid of or put down. You know what I mean?
Of course.
Right. Where Yeager was trying to make people stay on their post, DM was then trying to destroy everything Yeager was doing and remove those people and just, you know, move them around.
And to be honest with you, the funny thing is I can attest to what Janice is saying about Yeager when he was dealing with management and staff and all that. But when he got around Miscavige, he was the biggest brown noser I've ever seen in my life. He kissed Miscavige's butt. You know, like the fake, like Miscavige will tell a joke, somebody who overlaughs and does this. He's like just trying to stay in his good graces. You know, that was how he was when he was around Miscavige. He was totally different than he was when he was working with
because you think of people like Norma Stark, you know, I can't believe, you know, everything that was then said on the Truth Rundown.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I got to tell you one thing. We're going to wrap this up, but I want to say something about this. Is one of the things I mentioned in the first interview that I loved about your book is that you tell us a lot of information that Janice and I and people who are around Miscavige, we know a lot of this, right? But it's interesting because you're taking it from the point of view of a public person who wasn't in that world and did not know this stuff. And so this book is really revealing to former Scientologists, public or whatever, who weren't around Miscavige, because you lay out all the different, you know, things that you observed or stories and that type of thing. You footnote it so that way it's documented, and it's a great reference also for people if they want to ever, like, you know, somebody challenges you about something about David Miscavige, you can take Claudio and Renata's book, and you can actually go, well, you should read this chapter here, and here's all the documentation. The book's available on Amazon. I just wanted to mention that again, but it's just a great book. I mean, you did a really, really well done job, in my opinion.
We worked together, and I had stories. Renata had stories.
The other thing I wanted to mention Renata's book. I read it last year. I loved it. And this is her personal story about being a fashion model, getting into Scientology and her road through Scientology, about your business and her little knitting shop and all that. I was fascinated by the whole thing. Anyway, that book also is available on Amazon. And I can't read that small. Is it Prisoner of Freedom? The title? My eyes are not.
Here, my 36 years in the Scientology cult.
Yeah, and it's a great book too. You guys should order it also on Amazon. It's really, really good. I really enjoyed it, Renata.
Grazie.
Yeah. It's been really eye-opening, right, Janice?
Yeah, it's been fun. I've enjoyed it.
Yeah.
We enjoyed it too. And Renata was in. She did.
I know, she came back in.
I want to explain.
I read.
We have surprise guest.
I wrote, I hear, he told me, I make the sweater in 2 days. Forget it. 10 days.
Okay. You'd be knitting like a machine.
The night with different paint with pots with different gomitoli.
Yeah,
I put
Yeah.
different filler, no? So very hard job to make one sweater. 10 days.
So she had to correct me. That's why she
2
came
days.
in.
Well, I could hear her voice every now and again as you'd say something. You'd hear her voice come in. And now, look, we have the whole person.
And when also he talked me regard my style women clothing, he say only men's fabric. But the concept is different. I explained to you.
We're happy to have you on, Renata, and also Claudio, of course.
My style was the contrast is men's fabric because are the best, you know, severi, come si dice, and the other side, the very feminine.
Yes.
Looks like the waist is so thin, you know, this is my from 60. And so I prefer to mix the men's fabrics because are the best in the world. And the feminine line, it was successful, basically.
Yeah, no, great designs.
Beautiful, beautiful work.
I prefer exactly this kind of style.
Right.
And all to me specific, you know. And she was so happy, so gently because she put me the photo, basically horrible photo.
The photo I sent you. The photo.
The photo to look at me how they dress on air, you know.
Yeah, there's Shelly in one of your designs there.
Yeah, maybe take Marion Power this picture. I don't know, but she was gently never imagine it. This picture went on internet.
Yeah, you know what I notice about the photos though, and the photos of DM is they're never smiling in them. Where's the smiles? They're always so serious looking. You know what I mean? I mean, even Miscavige, like look at these photos here. I mean, he looks like, yeah, I got the shirt on. What do you think? You know, he doesn't have like a happy image. He's kind of like, yeah, you're bothering me right now. And you know, that's the look on his face, you know?
Well, and
that's the model look, Mark.
I guess, but that's the look he used to look at people like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, anyway. We want to thank you guys for being here. I just want to let the viewers know, please subscribe. Hit that like button, hit that notification button. It helps us get the video out to other people so they can see Claudio and Renata's stories and the other stories that we've got. If you've got any questions or comments on this show, please go down below in the questions comment section. Please write your questions and we will answer them back for you. And we just wanted to say we really enjoyed this, Claudio and Renata. Is there anything else you guys want to say before we end the show?
That we enjoy a lot, you know, stay with you. And, you know, we know that you have been very instrumental in the making of sane people again.
Yeah.
I read your book. I read what you wrote. I mean, if it was not for you and other people that had the courage, because you have to get guts to say and, you know, be a testimony, maybe we will be still in, you know, and lose our life.
Right.
So basically, it's a thank you for what you are doing.
Exactly.
Oh, thank you. Well, Miscavige isn't going to be around forever, or neither will we, as far as this lifetime goes, you know. But, you know, these videos will be out there for people in the future to watch, and they'll know what the history was, you know.
Yeah.
Thank you for what you're doing.
Yes.
Thank you.
That's why we
All right,
do it.
everybody.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, everybody. Until next time. Bye-bye. Bye.
Bye.
Ciao.